With ongoing health precautions in place, there are many different types of class modalities that are available to students. A couple of options you may have heard of are flexible attendance, flex, hybrid, and online. This gives students many opportunities, but may also be overwhelming and confusing. The listed types of class modalities are all different, with specific expectations. In this video, we are going to discuss the in-person class with flexible attendance. All colleges across the country are encouraging flexible attendance in their classes. Many institutions have gone to a no attendance taken model, where absences are typically not counted against students for most lecture meetings. If you enroll in an in-person class, you are still expected to attend that class face-to-face during the time that you signed up for in OASIS. It is possible that your instructor may need to break students into smaller, socially distanced groups. Be sure to check on Canvas, your email, or with your instructor if large lecture sections will need to be modified for everyone's safety. However, even if students are broken into smaller groups, face-to-face attendance is still expected. In most lab classes, attendance in the lab component will still be mandatory, without an option for flexible attendance. In some instances, longer labs may require that you perform the activity during the scheduled lecture meeting. Additionally, labs may require attendance during a makeup period if the initial lab offering is missed. Again, be sure to check your schedule in OASIS for when your labs meet. Be sure to check Canvas and your lab syllabus for schedules and policies regarding lab. So, if attendance is still expected, what does flexible mean? Basically, there are times when you should not come to class. In these instances, there is no penalty for absence, and there will be alternate methods of delivery to accommodate you. First and foremost, if you are sick, absolutely do not come to class. This means any type of illness, not just COVID. If you have a fever over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, do not come to face-to-face class. If your fever is accompanied by a cough, congestion, chills, body aches, diarrhea, or vomiting, do not come to class and seek medical assistance if you haven't done so yet. If you have tested positive for any communicable disease, such as COVID, flu, or strep, you should stay home and isolate following CDC guidelines. Other situations which may necessitate that you stay home include if you have prolonged exposure to someone that has been ill. Prolonged exposure typically means that you have been closer than 3 feet to an ill person for greater than 15 minutes, such as if you live or commute with someone that has recently become ill. Situations may vary, such as healthcare workers that may have contacted ill patients but were themselves outfitted with appropriate PPE to avoid infection. Additionally, if you are caring for a severely immune-compromised person in your home, you may need to occasionally use flexible attendance options. If at all possible, it may be better to look into a hybrid, flex, or online section if a care situation would preclude you from ever being able to attend in-person classes or labs. However, unique situations may exist, so talk to your instructor either way before semester starts or quickly thereafter. It is also beneficial to think about some situations that are typically not acceptable for missing a class that is designated as in-person. This is where students often become confused and may end up struggling or even falling behind in class. An in-person class that has flexible attendance is not a hybrid, flex, or online class. These classes are not designed nor intended to be delivered completely online. If you have enrolled in an in-person face-to-face class, then attendance is expected unless there are extenuating circumstances. These are events beyond your control that could not have been planned, such as accidents, an occasional missed alarm clock, a surgery, or a death in the family. That being said, if you enroll in an in-person class, you should not schedule reoccurring events that will conflict with the class time as provided in OASIS. This means that you should not schedule events like a reoccurring work shift that is at the same time as your face-to-face class. You should also not plan extensive travel that would take you away from campus for multiple weeks at a time. Additionally, if you simply do not like the available scheduled time for a class, it is too early in the morning, or during lunch, or in the evening, this is not a valid reason to not attend a scheduled in-person class. If you are involved in activities that are standing meetings during class time, you should enroll in another class section that does not conflict with these meetings. These types of situations are not the scenarios that flexible attendance is designed to accommodate. Flexible attendance is not a standardized modality among classes. It often relies on your instructor doing the best they can to offer you a similar experience and equal access to information presented in class. The list provided here are some options that your instructor may elect to use, but be clear that this is a list of possible options. All, some, or a few of these may be used to accommodate a student that has to miss in-person class for reasons beyond their control. Currently, one of the most common delivery methods is to simultaneously Zoom a class while it is being taught in person. This has pros and cons. It is close to the classroom experience, but audio or video quality may not be very high. Also, not all classrooms are equipped to actually perform this function, so this really is a case-by-case option that depends on classroom infrastructure and faculty technological abilities. If a Zoom session is recorded during class, this may be uploaded later for students to watch or rewatch as needed. Again, this is not always an option. Many times, recordings may be lower quality. Check with your instructor, but be aware that there may be valid reasons not to upload the recording of a Zoom session. Some instructors will create lecture videos that are highly produced with quality audio, animations, drawings, and added notes. From a content delivery standpoint, these are often seen as best practice and often include closed captioning and other beneficial features. These can be watched at any time and are available to all students. Access to technology, skill in production, and availability of time to develop pre-recorded lectures that mimic class may limit the availability of these in all classes. Many topics have excellently produced, edited, and polished videos already available on the web. There is no reason to reinvent the wheel, so to say, and many instructors will spend countless hours tracking down educational videos to supply to students. Additionally, many publishers also provide animations and short lessons on specific topics. These may be used to alternatively deliver content missed in the face-to-face class. And finally, instructors may simply upload PowerPoint slides or detailed notes from class. This is not an all-inclusive list, nor is it intended to suggest that an instructor must supply you with all of these options. These are just some things you may expect to see if you have to miss class and need to access the materials in an alternate manner. Be sure to check Canvas and discuss with your instructor your options if you need to miss class. Additionally, there may be special circumstances when you may be required to make use of the previously listed alternate delivery methods for your in-person class, even if you are healthy and able to attend face-to-face. Just as we don't want students to come to campus if they are sick, we don't want our instructors to come to class ill either. If your instructor becomes ill, but is still able to remotely hold their class, you may have to temporarily convert to a virtual delivery option of class. It is also possible that campus may be closed for a number of reasons. Significant state increases in illness, storms, power outages, fires, or other events beyond anyone's control may necessitate a transition to an online environment. Singular events may sometimes mean that your instructor still meets with you face-to-face, but needs you to access some content online. This does not make the class online, but typically means that your class time may be needed to complete some other vital learning outcome required for successfully completing the class. This most often occurs with lab classes and when trying to socially distance with limited space and materials. Additionally, some class designs naturally require students to access online content before class in order to prepare for in-class activities. A flipped classroom model is an in-person teaching method that requires students to watch videos, read the text, and complete pre-class activities in order for the face-to-face meeting to be used for working on problem sets or answering questions.